Hello, and today we're going to talk about the past. So we talk about the past when we talk about any time before now. So we're talking about yesterday. Let's have a look at some examples. Yesterday, or last week, or last year, last Tuesday, 10 minutes ago, this morning. Any of these words, we have to use the past tense in English. So that means we have to change the verb a little bit. For example, so we add ed. We put ed onto the verb to put it in the past. For example, let's have a look at some examples. Smoke, smoked. We add ed. So that's smoked. Let's look at another verb. Work. How do we put it into the past? Yesterday I worked. Just an ed. That's all we need. Walk. Every day I walk. Yesterday I walked. ed. It's that simple. Every day I wash my hands. Yesterday I washed my hands. Every day I watch TV. Yesterday I watched TV. Every day I open the door. Yesterday I opened the door. Every day I call my friend. Yesterday I called my friend. ed all the time. Yesterday I started. Every day I start. Yesterday I started. Every day I wait for a bus. Yesterday I waited for a bus. So you can see that for a lot of verbs, to put it in the past, we just need ed. But there are different sounds with this ed. So sometimes we don't say ed, we say t. T. For example, smoked. We say a t. We write ed, we say t. Worked. Walked. Washed. Watched. So they're the verbs that we use t with instead of ed. For some verbs, we pronounce the ed like a d. D. For example, opened. We don't say the e is silent. Opened. Called. Called. Sometimes we pronounce it like an id. The ed is like an id. For example, started. Started. Waited. Waited. And we don't have a picture for this, but it's also needed. Needed. So if we take that third part first, anytime we have a d or a t at the end of the verb, then the ed we say id. Waited. Needed. Started. Let's revise. So sometimes we say t. Smoked. Worked. Walked. We can say we have a k at the end of the verb. The last letter is a k, so the ed is t. Same with wash. We have an sh at the end. We say washed with a t. And watched. Again, the ch is the same. And here this is the d section. So opened, if we have an n, This sound is d. Opened. And similarly with L. If we have an L at the end of the verb, then the ed is d. Called. And remember, for number 3, we have a T, then we say tid. Started. So let's just repeat very quickly some of the verbs. Walked. Washed. Opened. Called. Started. Waited. So let's see if you can remember. We have number 1 is T. Number 2 is D. Number 3 is id. So how do we pronounce this? Exactly, it's a D. Opened. Opened. Next one is washed. Washed. Is that 1, 2, or 3? Washed. Yes, we say the T. Washed. Let's look at the next verb. Smoked. Smoked. Is that 1, 2, or 3? If you listen, smoked. You can hear it's a T. Number 1. That's it. Started. Started. Is that 1, 2, or 3? Started. We can see we have a T at the end. So it's id. Started. This verb, called. So, what number is that here? Called. We say a d. It's number 2. Called. Okay, let's look at some new verbs. This one is cleaned, of course. Yesterday I cleaned. Is that 1, 2, or 3? Cleaned is 3. So we say the D at the end. Cleaned. What's this verb? Yesterday I cooked. So the ending. How do we say it? Do we say t, d, or id? Cooked. Exactly. It's a T. Cooked. Let's do one more. What's the verb? Yesterday I every day I listen. Yesterday I listened. We just put the ed on it. So how do we pronounce the ed here? How do we say it? Listened. Listened. It's a D. Listened. And let's do one more. What verb is this? Every day I paint. Yesterday I painted. Painted. Is it 1, 2, or 3? Painted. Painted, exactly. We have the T, so we have to make the sound id. Painted. Okay, so let's look at some sentences and see if we can finish the sentences. So I'm going to give you most of the words and the verb in the middle, and you have to finish it. Now remember, we have to put it into the past. We need the ed. Yesterday I work at 9 o'clock. So what's the verb? How do we put that into the past? Yesterday I started work. Let's try one more. Last night a film on TV. What's the verb? Last night I watched. Watched. It's the T. Try this one. Yesterday I something for a bus for 20 minutes. So the verb is wait. Put it in the past. Yesterday I waited for a bus for 20 minutes. Waited. Again, all of these have ed. Frank. Let's talk about Frank. Frank, 10 cigarettes yesterday. So we have to complete it. Frank smoked. Smoked with a T. T sound. We write ed. And the last one we'll do. We something 20 kilometers last week. What's the verb? So every day I walk. Yesterday we walked. Walked with a T. 20 kilometers last week. Let's do one more quickly. Mark something the door. What's the verb in the past tense? Put it in the past. Mark opened the door with a D sound. Opened. Okay, please, if you need practice, look at the video again. Do the Quizlet. That will be on the blog. And thanks for watching. Talk to you soon.